I think we can agree on one thing: life is, at its core, wonderfully strange, isn't it? It is a strange thing to be here, to be aware that we are aware. And we find ourselves in every quiet moment in some sort of conversation with the great unknown, an unknown that is always moving, always changing, yet somehow utterly familiar. It's as if life has a rhythm, a pulse, like a river flowing relentlessly toward an unseen ocean. And that ocean, my dear friend, well, it's the answer. But as soon as we catch a glimpse of it, it dissolves and turns into a question. Always a question. You see, in this dance of life, no matter how we twirl and spin, no matter how we reach out for that final understanding, we're always left with the same thing. Not an answer, but the next question. It's as if the universe is playing a grand cosmic joke, and the punchline is, the answer is always a question. It sounds like a paradox, doesn't it? How can the answer be a question? It doesn't make sense in the way we are used to thinking. But then, life doesn't always make sense in the ways we want it to. This is why I find it so deliciously absurd. The way we seek, we strive, we analyze, and then just when we think we've arrived at something solid, the universe laughs and says, "Oh no, not yet, there's always more." Now, the questions we ask are part of the game. They give us direction, like stars in the sky, guiding us through the darkness. But here's the catch: the more we ask, the deeper we fall into the labyrinth of our own minds. We start asking questions about ourselves. Who am I? What's the meaning of it all? Why am I here? And as we ask, we create an endless series of doors, each one leading to another question. And if we're not careful, we can get caught in this maze, trying to find our way out, searching for the answer, always looking for the final door that will lead to the truth. But do you see? The trap is not in the asking, but in the belief that the answer is something that can be found, something that can be possessed. We think that if we just get the right answer, then the puzzle will be complete, and all will be well. But that's where we go wrong. The answer we seek is not a destination, not a fixed point on the map of existence. It is the question itself. In fact, the very act of questioning is where the dance happens. Now, we are told from a young age that there is always a right answer to everything. But the older we get, the more we see that life is not about certainty. It's not about finding a solid, immovable answer. Life is a river, and you don't try to hold onto the water, do you? You let it flow, and you flow with it. You learn to be with the current rather than fighting it. The questions themselves are the current. So, what do I mean when I say that the answer is always a question? Let me take you a little deeper into this labyrinth. We begin to ask ourselves who we are, right? This question is the great starting point. Who am I? We ask it earnestly, believing there must be a final answer. And so we begin our search. Some of us go looking for it in books, others in the faces of loved ones, some in the mirror, others in the most distant corners of the world. But no matter where we look, the answer is always elusive. The more we search, the more questions we uncover. Am I my thoughts, my body, my memories, my feelings? But if you dig deep enough into the core of the search, you find something wonderful. That which is looking for the answer isn't the I you thought it was at all. It's something more fluid, more expansive, more alive. The answer you're searching for is not a fixed thing to be captured. It's the very act of seeking. The answer is the question you ask. And when you ask, you open yourself to something far larger than yourself. The I is not the answer. The seeking is the answer. And this is where the cosmic giggle comes in. Isn't it delightfully odd? Here we are, trying to figure it all out, building systems, creating labels, searching for something we can hold on to. And yet, the whole time the answer is dancing just out of reach. The answer is in the dance itself, in the flow of questions that keep moving us forward. But it doesn't stop there. We begin to ask about time. We want to know, when will I be happy? When will I find peace? When will I find the answer? Time is something we're obsessed with, isn't it? We look at the clock, we make plans, we chase after futures we've imagined. And what do we find? The future never comes. It's always over the horizon, always one step ahead, just out of reach. We spend so much of our lives chasing after time, trying to capture it, trying to hold on to it. But have you noticed? Time is the trickster. It doesn't play by our rules. You see, time doesn't really exist in the way we think it does. We think it's linear, a river flowing in one direction. But what if it isn't? What if time is like the waves on the ocean, rising and falling, appearing and disappearing? What if the past and the future are just tricks of the mind? The question we ask is always about the future. What will happen next? But in the asking, we miss the present, the only place where life is actually happening, the only place where the answer is revealed. Now, think about control. We love to control things, don't we? We try to control our emotions, our bodies, our thoughts, even the way people perceive us. But here's the thing. Control is an illusion. You can't control the wind, you can't control the tides, and you certainly can't control time. The more you try to control, the more you find yourself slipping through your fingers. The tighter you grip, the faster it moves away. Control is the question we ask when we're afraid of the unknown. How can I make this work? How can I make this go the way I want it to? But the paradox is this. When you release control, you find that life flows in the most miraculous ways. When you stop trying to make everything fit into your little box of understanding, the box disappears. And what's left? Freedom. And there, my dear friend, is the secret. The answer to the question is not an answer at all. It is the not knowing. It is the surrender. It is the letting go. The moment you stop trying to find an answer, you open yourself to the possibility of everything. The question dissolves, and what you are left with is the river, flowing freely, without resistance. Isn't it beautiful? The question is the answer. The seeking is the finding. The question itself is what gives meaning to the search. And as you keep asking, you keep opening to life. It is not about the destination, it is the journey. The paradox of the question is that it brings us back to the moment we are in, right here, right now. So, my dear friend, the next time you ask what is the meaning of life, just remember the answer is not somewhere out there. It is in the very asking. It is in the flow of the question, the dance of life itself. And when you realize that, when you finally feel that deep inside you, then you understand the answer was never separate from you. It was always with you, flowing through you, like the river flowing to the sea. Ah, the cosmic joke. Isn't it delightful?